Hello, hello, happy Friday. This is Jennifer Sinceri, and I am a Stampin' Up! Independent demonstrator. And tonight we are going to play with Grassy Grove bundle, and you can find that in our mini catalog on page 47. Well, hello there, Lori. How are you? Happy Friday. All right, I'm going to get seated here. We've got about 4 cards that I'm going to make with you tonight. 2 of them are a fancy fold card, and maybe just showing you a couple different techniques. I'm moving my little blind here because I've got my window open to let some air in. We've had such a lovely day here in Sacramento Valley in California. Let's see, we've been in the, oh goodness, I would say it's 69 degrees right now. 69 degrees at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Whew. And I have to catch my breath. I've been running around. Let's see, how has my spring break been? Oh, it's been lovely. Lovely, but it's going too fast. Isn't that the way it always is when you have a break? It goes too fast. I don't have to go back to work until Tuesday, so I do get Monday off. So that's nice. That is nice. Hello, Mary. Welcome. Welcome. And hello, Pamela. Thanks for being here. So go ahead, yes, if you are watching the live, please comment to let me know that you are here. And that way we can interact and enjoy each other. And make sure that you give this video a thumbs up or a heart. That way the analytics help other people to see this video and find me. Another thing that you can do is make sure that you follow my Facebook page if you don't already do that. And that way you always get notices when I go live. You'll see my promotions and classes that I'm holding. I've just updated all of May, and I will be uploading summer events as well on the Facebook page, as well as my website. All right, so my website, you can find me at jennifersinceri.stampinup.net, and that's where you can place orders and also look at events as well. Thank you so much, Mary. I'm so glad that you love the videos. Thank you for saying that. I appreciate that. Well, let's get started. I'm excited to be here tonight with you. So, like I said, we're going to play with another great scene building stamp set, Grassy Grove. This really coordinates with a lot of the other stamp sets in our mini catalog. I feel that it really goes well with oceanfront, on the horizon. They all complement each other. And another thing that this bundle, I feel like shines, one of the stars are the dies. Okay, so let me show those to you. And you're going to see little bits. I was busy yesterday prepping for this class, and gosh, this is just a fun set to play with. So this die right here, this is what makes the gorgeous tree silhouettes. Gorgeous, gorgeous. And then we've got some bonus deer that you can cut out from cardstock. Then we also have this piece here. Now this piece is very interesting. It goes with this stamp set. I'm sorry, this stamp. So when you stamp this image and you use this die, it's going to cut out all that foliage for you. So that's really nice. And I'm going to use that on one of our cards tonight. And then this will cut out our trees. And then this one cuts out this meadow flower image. Then we've got these 3 trees, which cuts these out. This deer will cut out our deer stamp. And then we've got 2 bonus leaves that we get in this set. All right, so let's move these aside. And I believe, yes, I'm looking at our catalog. I believe, excuse me, that all of these dies fit in the mini Stampin' and Cut Stamp and Emboss. Goodness, my tongue isn't working tonight. Stampin' and Emboss machine, the mini one. So that's nice to know that all of these will fit in the mini or the large machine. Okay. That being said, you're going to see me use some stamping blends tonight. Also, I will tell you that this paper, the New Horizons paper, really goes well with the Grassy Grove bundle. Okay? And you'll see that tonight. All right, what else? What else? I think that's about it. So I am going to pull a few sentiments from this stamp set called Inspired Thoughts. This is a great all-around sentiment stamp set. We've got sympathy and hello and thank you and congratulations and thinking of you. So this is a really nice stamp set when you're looking for a variety of things to say in your cards. All right, let's get started. Okay, we're going to start with a basic white card base, and I'm going to pull my bone folder. I want to make sure that I've got nice, crisp, burnished folds. Sorry, guys, I must be really tired. I am prepared, though. I am prepared. I'm not just winging it tonight. I had lots of time to prepare. I think I'm just tired. Okay, so we've got a layer, a matte layer here of black that we're going to add, okay? Because I really want this card to have a crisp boldness that pops. Now, I mentioned that New Horizons Designer Series paper, but on this particular card, I pulled a piece from our Flowering Fields, all right? This card is not necessarily the typical color scheme that you would look at for a meadow forest card. I went with Pool Party. All right. Now I took that die. I'm going to show it to you. And I cut it out using Pool Party. I wanted a very subtle, calm looking card here, because actually this card is going to be a sympathy card. All right. I'm always having people ask me for sympathy cards. And sadly, I never have enough because they're my least favorite card to make, to be honest with you. So let me set that aside. I need to pull my sentiment here that I'm going to use with heartfelt sympathy. All right. So I thought this would be a great card to make up for a sympathy. I don't necessarily have a need for a sympathy card right now, but it's always a good idea to have them on hand because you may not always be in the mood to make them. How do you guys feel about that? They're my least favorite card to make because I guess I just, you know, it's hard when someone passes. Now I am just putting my sticker on so that we can see our sentiment really well. All right, these are cling stamps. Excuse me. And I am going to stamp in our black memento. Now, I haven't glued this down yet, but I want to be able to eyeball where I'm going to put my sentiment. And it's going to go right in this area right here. Okay? So I just want to stamp that and make sure that it works and I don't mess it up. So we're just going to put that right here. All right. Now I can start to glue these down and feel confident that everything's where it needs to be. And I can see the letters and I don't have boo-boos. See how that black really makes it pop? Now I think I'm going to pull my liquid glue for this one. Sympathy cards, yes, Pamela, I would agree with you. People are always asking me for sympathy cards, sadly, you know. So it's something that I personally need to just have more of on hand. So I'm probably going to make a couple of these, maybe in different colors. But I feel like this color combination is attractive, yet subtle. We want attractive colors, but I don't want something that's super bright, and I want to be respectful, you know. So now I took a piece of black scrap paper and I cut one of those bonus deer out, and we're going to sneak that little deer behind the tree so she's peeking out. Okay, just like that. So let's be careful because we don't want to rip our tree trunks. We'll put a little bit of glue on her. Don't need to worry about all of it, you know, because it's going to be held behind those trees just a little bit. I'm not going to worry about those leggies. And I'm just going to place that right there. And we could leave it at that. I think that that's a very attractive card. It's a little bit more on the plain side, but I don't always like to have really busy cards for sympathy. But I feel like it's attractive with this gorgeous die. Now you could add a bow on here. I was thinking, you know, our black and white gingham ribbon on here would be pretty. You could put a little bow somewhere on here, but I don't know that I want to do that. And I don't really feel like it needs embellishments. I think I'm going to leave it the way it is. All right. So that's our first card. Very simple and easy. And the only stamped image was my sentiment. Now, if I wanted to stamp something on the inside, I could add some of those trees. And I think I might go ahead and do that. So let me grab my trees. And let me grab a block. I think I need a bigger block. Let's go with this one. I was storing some of these. Do you ever, you know, work in your craft room and you pull a stamp out from a set and then you forget what stamp set it goes to? Yeah, so that's why I have those three, because I have to figure out, okay, where did those stamps belong? Because I was working with them and then I forgot which stamp set they're from, and I really hate that. All right, we'll put a couple trees here. And then we said with heartfelt sympathy on the front. And then how about we just say, there's a really nice one that says, sheltering you with love at a time when words fall short. I think that's a lovely sentiment for a sympathy card. I really like this Inspired Thoughts stamp set for sentiments. Okay, there's the inside of our card, and there's the outside. Okay, pretty easy. You could, like I said, dress it up for a different occasion, but I want it to stay considerate and respectful, and I like your word tasteful, Pamela. Tasteful. Okay, now the next card has a little bit more to it and a little bit more fun to it. All right. Let me take a sip. I can feel something in my throat getting me. All right. And wouldn't you know, I was fine until I went live. That's so funny. Mossy Meadow. And then I wanted to show you where I got these pieces from. So in that New Horizons Designer Series paper, there's this sheet. And that is what I cut these trees out of. All right. Was this one. Great for those leaves. And then there's another piece that's just solid blue. Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut these to be a little bit more tree shaped, so it's not just a square, okay? Or a rectangle, I should say. Let's put our little mat of white. I wanted a little bit of white to just help this pop. These are dark colors. Hi, Julie. Thanks for hopping on. And I cut this 1/8 of an inch smaller because I wanted to make sure I had enough room for all my layers, but I wanted that little bit of white to just help lighten those dark colors. Okay, and then we're going to have our blue sky in the background. If you haven't ordered this paper yet, you're going to want to before it sells out. This paper is just great to work with. There's so many different things you can do with it. Now, I took this stamp and I stamped it in soft suede, I believe. And then I took this die to help me cut it out. Okay. So that's how I did that. And then we're going to take some of our stamping blends. I'm going to get to this, but I want to have this piece ready. And I'm just going to go in with my Mossy Meadow and I'm picking the light and I'm going to just add some color to the foliage images that are on here. Now I could have masked it and inked it in Mossy Meadow and then inked it in the soft suede, but for time's sake, I thought it's a light enough color, why not just go over it with my stamping blend? And it seems to be working just fine. So that's another little technique that you can do. Just add the color where you want it. Because I'm just adding these little bushes and they might be trees far away, but for me, they're going to be bushes. And they really just look like little squiggle lines. So that's what I'm going to do. Just add some squiggle lines, little dots here and there. I think that's pretty good. Okay. And that's going to go here, and I think we're going to need to trim our ends. But see how I can have my little hills and some trees in the background. So let's figure out how we want to place this so that everything can show. And then I'm just going to trim off those little ends from the die. All right. So we'll add that piece on. I might want to go a little higher. Yeah, perfect. I need to take a little more off here. Okay, now I said I was going to cut this so it's not so square. All right, so I'm just going to go in with my scissors and make these a little more rounded so they look like the tops of the trees. Okay, gives it a different look. And then we have our deer that we're going to add. And we have a little sentiment that says thank you. So let's go ahead and add this on. I'm thinking, why not pop it up with some dimensionals? And I just saw a piece that wasn't popped. There we go. Let's add some dimensionals on here. So I always like to use these little scraps up. They still have their top sticky part on, and that way I don't get so much stickiness on my scissors. Kind of helps protect them from getting sticky and needing to be cleaned. So I'm just going to look for parts where I can, come on, where I can add these dimensionals without them showing in their in the little peekaboos. Let me turn it around this way. Okay. I think that one needs to be cut a little bit smaller. Little smaller. I think we have a tiny one here we can add. Oops. There we go. And we'll put a few pieces on the bottom. So it's really not a difficult stamp bundle to work with. I really feel like the dies are the star, but you'll want the stamps to go with the dies so that you can add these trees and shrubs and whatnot to really make your card come alive. And as I said before, really, really helps complement some of these other scene building stamp sets. They really go together well. I feel like I get my money's worth that way. You know, there's more that I can do with them. All right, then we're going to add our little deer. I think we'll pop that sweetie pie on a dimensional also. And we're going to just put her out in the front so we can see all of her. And then I just took a scrap, and one of the sentiments in our Grassy Grove is thank you. You also have, sometimes you need to know that someone really cares that someone is me. That's nice. And then you have another one that says, see the good. But another card that I always seem to fall short on are thank you cards. And so I thought, I'm going to add a little thank you here. Now I have to decide, do I want to put a little flag of ribbon behind that or not? Let's see. Let's see what it looks like. I'm not going to do a bow, but I thought a little flag of ribbon hiding behind that might work. We'll see. And if we don't like it, then we don't do it. I don't know. Maybe on the other side. I think I need to cut the ends better. Oops. Come on. Butterfingers tonight. Gotta hold it so I can see. What do you guys think? Do you like the little bit of black and white checker in there or not? I'm not seeing anybody commenting. I think it adds a little element. I'm seeing hearts. Okay. All right. So I'll take that as a yes. It's just a little scrap. And we'll just make sure I've got it on the right side here. Put a little bit of adhesive on the back. And it's even fraying a little bit, and that's fine. Just makes it look unique. A little bit weathered. There we go. I've got these little black dots. I could add maybe one of those on here too. But we don't want the kitty here. I could put them like on the ends of this little line right here. That would work. But that might be too much. Let's see. What do you guys think? Does that look okay? Okay. Now the inside, we need, did I cut my insides? I don't know if I cut that scrap one. Okay, love my paper trimmer, super easy to work with. Use that, and I'll have one more just in case we need it for another card. Might as well since I've already got it there. All right, now on the inside, we can stamp more trees, but let's do a different tree since our trees are more the rounded tops on the front. These are great for masculine cards. You are so right. And that's something that I'm always in need of too. I struggle with masculine cards. So that's another great reason I like this stamp set. And it can be for any occasion. It could be birthday, it could be Father's Day, get well, Thinking of you. Now, I must have got a little bit of black ink on my finger and I see a little smudge there. So my little trick to that is I grab an emery board and I just ever so lightly sand that ink off. If you guys ever get ink where you don't want it, just sand it away with an emery board. And you don't have to waste your paper. I always have emery boards in my craft room. Little trick. And if you haven't already, would you please share this video? I would really appreciate that. Sharing is caring. I really like how the trees are rounded on this one. So fun. Okay, next card. I'm really excited about this one. This is a fun fold. Okay, so I took half a piece of cardstock and I scored it down the middle and then I ran it through with my die. All right, so I have this silhouette that's going to be the front of my card. And then I took another half, but I cut it 1/4 of an inch smaller. Okay, because this is going to be the inside of our card. We're going to put this lovely piece of designer series paper, and then look at that. So you've got that background and you open it up, and then you're going to open this up like this, and we're going to stamp on the inside and you can write. This is a super easy card, but it has a wow factor to it. I don't need anything on the front because we really want this die to be the focus. So we're not going to stamp anything on this piece of paper. I don't know what you would call this type of card, but I was playing around and I thought, you know what? This is super easy and I really want to show off that gorgeous die. Now I'm going to open this up and I'm going to do my stamping before I glue it down. Oh, thank you guys for the hearts. Thank you. Okay, so let's put in some trees. But I'm going to go back to those pine trees. I need my bigger stamp, or my bigger block. Where did it go? Hiding? It's hiding. Okay. We'll have to come up with a name for this. You guys can help me name this type of card. I'm not sure what we would call it. And then I want a good sentiment on the inside. Let's do, sometimes you need to know that someone really cares. Need a bigger block. There we go. And I didn't put my stickers on these, so gotta be careful. I gotta take my time. Let's make sure we get that really covered well. And then we're gonna put more trees on this side. And how about we put a deer in here? Where should we put our deer? Should we put it over here? Should we put it here? What do you guys think? I don't want to put it right next to those trees. How about we do it right here? And this is very simple with the black and white, but I feel like it just really makes these images, I don't know, stand out. They're very striking. Okay. And I have plenty of room that I can write on here. And there we go. It looks like I need to score this a little better. It's because we have thick, I think I used thick white in there. All right, now, if I wanted to put, I'm not sure that I want anything on the front. I kind of want to just leave it the way it is. Oh, thank you, you guys. Simple, but easy, and has that element of interest to it. It's different. All right, last card. This one's a little more complicated, and I've done this type of card before. It's what we would call a double Z card, okay? And I am using Evening Evergreen. So this is half of a piece of cardstock, scored in the center, and then I scored it at 2.5 again. All right. And let's see. I have to remember. So there's that other piece of designer series paper. I cut it out using our Fun Canopy Forest die, and then I looked for a pattern that I liked that would complement that green, okay, and I just split it in half, so it's the same piece of paper, so it just looks like your image is just continuing. All right, so let's glue these down. And I don't have my ruler right now, but these are 2.5 by 4. Let me just make sure where my score line is here. Okay, my score line was at 2 3/4. So that was 2 3/4. All right, and this was 5.5. So 5.5 and 2 3/4. All right, and then these pieces are 2.5 by 4. So we just want to make sure we have an even amount of border all the way around that piece. Just take your time and eyeball it. Okay. And then we want to just make sure that they line up, that they're at the same level. And then this is going to go straight down, and you're wondering, okay, well, where's the writing going to go? Just trust me, I'll show you. Okay. I will show you. Can you guys guess where we're going to put the writing? Do you have a hunch? All right, now we have a piece that we're going to use on the bottom here. And it's the same length as my card, all right? But I have scored it at 5.5 and 8 1/4, all right? So see how we have the two small pieces here and the large piece here? You're going to put your large piece on this side, and then, did I do that right? No, I didn't. We're going to do, did I do that right? That's how we want, yeah. We want the opposite. So since you have your longer panel here, you're going to have your longer piece on here, okay? And it makes a Z. So that's where we get the double Z. You've got a Z here, and then you have a Z here. But before I put that down, let's get our pieces that we're going to add to this. All right, so these are just scraps. And yeah, they've got some flowers on them. But once we put this together, it's not going to matter. It's just going to look like greenery. It doesn't matter. You just want to make sure they're going in the right direction. Okay, so this piece, excuse me, is 5 1/4 by 1 inch. And then you need two pieces that are 2.5 by 1 inch. Okay. Ooh, I feel like I need to sneeze. Okay, now this is going to get adhered to that. The only place that we want our glue is on this end and this end, okay? And I think I'm going to use, I want a stronger adhesive. So let me see. I would suggest using tear and tape or use your Stampin' Seal Plus. I don't think my Stampin' Seal Plus is close to me, so I guess I will use some tear and tape right now. So it's like double-sided tape, but we tear it. Oh, I gotta sneeze, you guys. Achoo! Oh, excuse me. I could feel it. I need a little bit more. So let me pull this off. That's the backing. I'm just going to put a little bit more. And I'm just going to roll that over so that it's where I want it. And we're just going to match these ends up. And then we'll match these ends up. Make sure everything's nice and creased. All right, now we're going to add in some deer. Sorry, my allergies are just going crazy right now. So I've got a mama deer, and I'm going to want to put these up a little higher so we can see them. So I just want to see where I want to put them, because we want to be able to see their body. Come on. So let's use a little bit of liquid glue. Remember, liquid glue will dry clear, but it doesn't take a lot. You just need a little bit. Okay, there's our deer. Now, I feel like it needs something else, and we still have to put our writing down. So let me grab my On the Horizon set, and I'm going to pull those birds, and we'll stamp some birds in the sky. Nope, too small. I need this one. Just have to make sure the birds are facing the right direction on this stamp. At first it was a little hard for me to figure out which way were the birds. There we go. So we're just going to stamp them. And we can put a little more here. I don't know if we need 2 panels of birds. Might just want to leave it that way. We don't want it to look like the Birds movie where they're taking over. So I think I'll stop on that. And then you could add a white panel here with a sentiment, but I don't know that I want to do that. I think I just like, it stands up, but I think I just really like all that greenery. You could stamp a sentiment here, like a greeting. We could do that. But I am now going to add the panel for my writing. So I have a panel of white, and this is where I would add whatever I wanted to say. Okay? So I am going to stamp some black trees on here. Move that one. Oops. I have to decide what occasion is this card going to be. It's a pretty fancy card. So I have to think, what am I going to have this be for? Is this going to be a birthday card? Is it going to be just a I'm thinking of you card? Maybe someone needs to be cheered up. Let's make sure our trees don't get put on upside down. I'll have to decide what my sentiment or what my occasion is going to be, because I think I might put a sentiment right there. But I'm going to wait until I know who I want to give this card to. All right, so that's it, you guys. These are super easy cards. Let me go back to the stamp set. So we've used this one, we used this one, we used this one, we've used this one. This was the only one we did not use. And I could add that on my envelopes. I used the thank you, and I used the sometimes you need to know that someone really cares. So we actually used a lot of the stamps, all of them except maybe one or two. So we've got this one, we've got this one. I'll put that up higher. We've got this one and this one. Can you guys see them all? Very simple, not that complicated, but they have that look to them that makes them look like they were a little more difficult, but they really aren't. It was actually super easy. Which one do you like the best? Which one is your favorite? I love this part. I think this is so neat. I love this. I love how it pops. And I have that scene. And I love how this is just very simple and subtle. And then this is a fun one. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you watching tonight. Excuse me. I appreciate you joining me. This was a lot of fun. I really had a lot of fun playing with this stamp set. It was so easy to work with. It wasn't complicated. And I really feel like they make striking cards. So thanks for hopping on and joining me. Thank you for commenting and sharing this video. If you don't already follow me, you'll want to make sure that you click that follow button. You can find me, by the way, on Facebook, YouTube, and on Instagram. All right. And so I take these videos and then I upload them to my YouTube channel. Once I get to 1,000 subscribers, then I can go live on Facebook. So I'm almost there. I'm almost at 800 subscribers, you guys. Okay. I hope you guys have a wonderful Easter weekend. Hopefully you're going to be able to spend the day with people that you love. And I'm going to see you next week. I'm trying to remember what next week's class is. Off the top of my head, I can't remember because I scheduled a lot of classes down in advance. I can't remember which one I'm doing next. I'm going to have to go look now. So you can find me Friday nights, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. All right, guys, I will see you in a week. Have a lovely rest of your weekend. Bye-bye.